staff at the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance, and this is another episode of Chamber Spotlight. And today I'm thrilled because we actually have one of our very own. Our staff is just an amazing staff. We have so much talent, and with me today is one of those talented individuals who just makes the magic happen, and that is Sarah Hunter-Lascoskie, who is our Director of Communications and Marketing. So Sarah, welcome.
Thanks, Karen.
Welcome to being on air with us today. I'm thrilled to have you. Sarah just has a great way of doing all of the things that we do in this organization, excuse me, which is so varied. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges, because we go from doing things that we talk about in economic development and purchases of properties, all the way to something that we're doing in a day or so, and that is our Taste of Berks, which is an annual one of our marquee events. So Sarah, tell me how you handled coming in, because I don't think there's any way that you can prepare somebody to be as broad-based and flexible as you are with what you have to do on a given daily basis.
Well, you certainly said it, and thanks for your kind words. But truly, one thing that was really exciting and a great opportunity, but also challenging, was coming into the organization when I did, which was in September of 2017, after the merger, after the arrival of our president and CEO, Randy Piers, and really looking holistically at the organization and what it does. And it's broad, so it required, I think, a significant amount of learning. And I think one thing that I was helped by is really that we had listened to our customers in terms of what they wanted, the feedback we were getting as an organization, to think about what's really valuable for them, and really taking it from there to think, if this is what we offer and this is what's valuable to our customers, and this sounds really simplistic, obviously, and we know that it's not behind the scenes,
sure,
but to the customer, how do we make it as simple, as easy as possible? And that came down to establishing a brand for the GRCA and establishing us as the one-stop shop for kind of all you need for business success here. It sounds simple, but of course you and I live it day to day that it's not.
It's so not easy. It's so not easy.
It's not, but it was really exciting to really learn. I think that was the key, is just learning and listening, because we do offer so much here, and if we're not getting that out to people, if they're not hearing that message and engaging with that message, then the work we do is kind of all for naught. We need that back and forth conversation to really know we're making an impact. So it started with listening and it started with learning.
And that's a great segue, because one of the things I think that Sarah has done so well is she has made that message very, very clear, when I think the message wasn't as clear in the past, because we were trying to fit everything sort of into one basket, though it might have had a lot of different stakeholders, because a small business and a large business may not have the same needs or interests, and those that enjoy things that are more driven by the network and outward working of the organization look at things differently than those who are strictly looking to get content, education, information, just information about whatever their need is. They're very different customers.
They really are, and I think it's not a new concept in terms of knowing who your audience is and your audiences are, and then strategically thinking about what information they get. But I think it's something that time and time again you do have to come back to as an organization, and especially as a marketer, is really thinking about the fact that we have so many audience segments and things that kind of fit their needs. So where are they going to get that information, and how are we going to get that to them? Because not everybody wants to network, and that was kind of the old mode of what people thought a chamber does. But now into the fold of what people think a chamber does, you're bringing in people who are interested in really issues of economic development and the vitality of our community. So they are looking for content. So then we start to see, in my brain, the way it works, because as you know, I have whiteboards everywhere. It's trying to map this out and draw out, what does that look like? What are they looking to get from us? And really being customized, because we know, especially as people are trying to get information very quickly to either help professional development or their own business success, they want that information really quickly. So if we can't get that to them easily, or they can't find it easily, you'll lose them.
Exactly. And I know that we talk so much about the fact that, not only are we intend as is just human to send out more information, because we think the more we send, the more people will hear, or the more they will look and take action. And yet we know that if you multiply that by some ridiculous number, that's how much noise is in everyone's world today. So how do we differentiate what we send, and how does it look different to the individual that we want to have take action with it?
Exactly, and one of the places that started is with a visual brand. When I arrived, we had obviously the merger, we had a new logo, but we hadn't really taken that logo through its course and the branding. So the other Sarah of marketing, Sarah Frasinelli, is just really extraordinary at establishing that brand to be clean and to be through whatever we do. And so that had really helped, I think, in the past year, let people know that this is GRCA, this is what it's all about, and just really establishing that visual identity and getting that in all of our pieces. Everything you see should look and feel like GRCA.
Right.
So that was a great initial point to start with, and Sarah has really done a wonderful job with that.
And I think that the sometimes the true measure of success is when people say to us, I saw that, it was wonderful, I acted on it, I went to this event or this function, or I saw what you were doing and that was really cool, or did you see, and I haven't looked at it myself, but people are looking and people are saying, wow, this is really, what you're doing is really good stuff. And it might be on that economic development side, and it might be on more of the chamber side, and it really does really lend the credibility to what you're saying.
Absolutely. So in addition to the visual brand and the visual identity, we really needed to be sure that that brand was kind of top of mind for people. So that had to happen in a kind of multi-layered way as well. So in terms of the press, are people referring to us as the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce and Industry? Are they using the GRCA? Are they really focusing on us holistically, and kind of what work can we do to ensure that the great things we do here and the great expertise we have is getting out there as well? So then there's that track of messaging to make sure we're talking externally, but a big piece of this also relies on internally that people are aware of what we're doing, and that we're doing just as good of a job to make sure staff is aligned in terms with our messaging, and they know what they're saying about us as an organization as well, because they're representing us wherever they go.
And I think, Sarah, one of the things that both you and Sarah Frasinelli have done so well is to gently but firmly share with our staff why it is important that sometimes less is more, and the message is clear. And if we keep to the script, if you will, of doing the right thing, clean, sort of simple, it really has more of an impact than just sort of pounding people over the head. Well, if we just send out one more email, if we just do this, if we, whatever the case might be, that's not necessarily the road to success.
Right, and it's kind of the trust the process of marketing, right? You need to trust that the strategy works, the plan works, and that we are knowing our audience. That's the key as well, is both using data and giving people good content is key to ensure you're not just kind of overloading them with information that is going to overwhelm them and they won't act on.
And I think that's something that we've taken a complete, I want to say not quite a 180, but maybe a 180, and that everything that you're looking at doing is we're grabbing people with content, with really good content about a particular topic or subject or an area of interest. And then maybe there's also come to this event, or this is a program that would be helpful in this context, but we're grabbing them with a lot of really good content. And that takes time. I mean, that takes time and planning and sitting back and saying, it's not just a matter of this, how do we keep up as quickly as we possibly can with one flyer after another or whatever. But we have a message to share, and I believe we are sharing that message, and you're doing a great job, a really great job doing it.
Thanks,
and I know
Karen.
it is not easy. It's really, it takes all this strategy and thinking and sort of sitting back and looking at whiteboards to be able to get it done. So thank you. Thank you
Thank you.
for disciplining us too at times because we need it. So it's my pleasure to talk with Sarah Hunter-Lascoskie, and she is just a joy to work with because she's just so darn smart. So thank you, Sarah, for all you do
Thank
for
you,
the
Karen.
organization.